Stereotypes. They are impressions of people that are influenced by widely shared assumptions about that person's personality, attitudes, or behavior based on that person's group membership. You'll find that citation from the Vaughan and Hogg textbook in the comments below. What does that really mean? A stereotype is like having a prototype for a particular thing, and your impression of what is in front of you is based on what you know or have been told about that thing, without actually taking into account. It might be like somebody gives you let's say a ice cream, and you've only ever sort of been exposed to vanilla ice creams, and there's an expectation that this ice cream is going to be a vanilla ice cream, because you haven't checked. You haven't checked for the individual differences. You have a stereotype of ice creams are vanilla. Now, that's a simplistic example, but when you apply that to a racial group, it might be an assumption that, for instance, you might have an assumption that Indigenous people are lazy. And therefore, when you're in university and you get put with an Indigenous person for an assignment, you just make an assumption that that person is going to be lazy without actually taking the time to get to know that person. You make an assumption based on their group membership as an Indigenous person, and because there happens to be a widely shared stereotype in Australia that Indigenous people are lazy, you might then take that and run with it. Stereotypes are often incorrect. Stereotypes have been shown to be formed actually from either a lack of information, where people make up the details, or actually a minority case which fits a social view which wants to, which people are motivated in some way or other to maintain. Typically this happens as a result of in-group out-group relationships, which we discussed in a different video. But negative stereotypes are set up in racial manners to continue to maintain something that the society feels to be beneficial, but actually comes at the expense of that racial group. So, stereotype, it's the impressions that are formed based not on that person themselves, but on that person's group membership. Hopefully this helps you understand stereotype a little bit better.